Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Five Door Media podcast series on AI, where we're diving deep into how home service business owners are using artificial intelligence to streamline operations, boost productivity, and create more freedom in their lives and businesses. As a marketing agency, we've seen firsthand how fast AI is reshaping the way home service companies quote jobs, schedule crews, hire talent, and serve customers. That's why this season is dedicated to practical, real world conversations with business owners and leaders who are putting AI to work, turning innovation into impact, automation into profitability, and insights into action. Let's get into today's conversation. This week's guest is Kedma Ough. Kedma Ough is a nationally recognized business strategist, best-selling author, and COO of Ninja VA, and a top virtual assistant placement firm for home service industries. With decades of experience coaching over 10,000 entrepreneurs, she's helped unlock more than 100 million in funding and scale hundreds of businesses. Kedma is also the author of Target Funding and has been featured in Entrepreneur Inc. and Huff Post. Kedma, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great
So
to be
happy to have
here.
you here.
Thank you.
Well, as you and as I said in the intro, today's conversation is about AI. So to
Sure.
kick things off, I want to know from you, what was the first thing or the first time you remember that AI popped up on your radar and you were like, this is going to be a thing?
My good friend Jeff Hunter. Jeff Hunter and I have known each other for years, and he got really super excited about AI. And I think he is the first person in the industry, just collectively in the country, that really called out that he wanted to create AI certification. And that was my thing of paying attention. He also comes from the staffing agency. He's a disruptor. And I thought, okay, this is something to pay attention with and for. And that was a couple of years ago. But that was really the first time that I thought. And one of the things I take into initiative is I rarely listen to the news because the news changes, but I pay attention to trendsetters, people
Mm.
who are disrupting the market. I like to say that that's the kind of people I want to surround myself with. And so if it's someone I know and I respect and they're disrupting the market, I'm going to pay attention to that.
I love that. Do you remember the first time you used AI and what was that
Yeah.
task or like what were you messing around with?
I think I used AI to uh, really find out a little bit about me, and I suggest everyone do this. So I will go into AI and I'll say, tell me about this woman Kedma Ough. Like, who is she? Like, find some dirt on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the dirt they found was, I'm married, and I have three beautiful kids, and I like to build businesses, and I was
That's
like,
some real
"Okay,
dirt right
I
there.
know." I
Yeah.
was like, "Find some
Yeah.
smut. Where's the smut?" They're like, "Well, it says that she has insomnia." I'm like, "Yes, we can go with that. What is she
Sure.
doing at night?" So I think the first part was really to see what did AI know about me and was it true?
Yeah. And then did you get into like just more common tasks? I feel like everybody they start with like write social media copy or give me ideas for social posts, or things like that.
Mhm.
When did you like start using it consistently and what did that look like?
Yeah, so I want to step back to step forward because, as you mentioned in my bio, I have been building companies. I personally impacted over 30,000 businesses. So what that should tell anybody listening is I've been around, from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000 to the 2010. And in every single generation that I have helped businesses, there are always moments of disruptive experiences, right? The next evolution of information technology, the next evolution of aha. And yet I will tell you, having done this since, I got into the world of building businesses in the 90s, is every decade we deal with the same issues.
Hmm.
And I want you to hear this loud and clear. AI may give you better information on how to deal with people, but you have to know how to deal with people.
You still
That's
got to
it.
deal with them.
You still got
Yeah.
to deal with them. And if you're a jerk, AI is not going to make you kind of better unless you figure out why you're a jerk. So, in understanding that, as someone who, first of all, I've done a lot in the world, and I'll speak to AI from a different perspective. Have you watched Shark Tank? I'm sure you have. You know how Shark
Of
Tank plays,
course.
right? Who
Yeah.
hasn't?
Yeah.
Well, if you understand that the way Shark Tank really works is new ideas that are coming before the sharks, and then the sharks decide whether they want to go or not. But in order to cultivate a new idea, the brain has to go back and decide where to place this because it's a new idea.
Mm.
It's why when I work with inventors, and I've worked with thousands of inventors, I'm kind of like, I'm like a little bit of a, I don't like to say I'm a shark, but call me like a pretty smart dolphin, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm an investor, but I'm not going to take all the pie, but I'm like a pretty smart, savvy dolphin, which by the way is one of the top threats for sharks. If you look at the way that the kingdom works. But
Oh
the
yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing the thing you have to understand about innovation is that when you're disrupting the market, you have to first educate the market. You can't just
Mm.
disrupt the market. You have to educate. So in doing so, you asked me the question, when was it? I said, well, I had to step back, and let me tell you where I stepped back. I had to step back and say, where was AI going to play a role in my work, in the pros work, in the work we do at VA, and where was I going to stand my ground on authenticity, where
Mm.
it was not negotiable. Now, if you ever go on, and I encourage anybody listening to this, just for an exercise, go on and connect with me on my personal Facebook. You'll find me, probably in the color yellow. You will see that all of my Facebook posts, as I write them, it says below, written by me and not ChatGPT. Now, why would I say that? Why would I say that, Drew? Why would I say I do a post? Why would I say written by me, not ChatGPT, when
I
everyone's going about AI? Why?
Well, I mean, I think it shows a level of authenticity because everybody's walking around thinking, "Was that AI?" I mean, from imaging to wording to anything. It's like, did you really write that? Was that you? Was that Claude? Was that, you know what I mean? Like, did you really do that? So I mean, that like shows it, that it
Exactly.
was me. Yeah.
It was me. And so now I don't have one AI coach. I have two AI coaches. And they send me notes all the time and they go, Coach, this is so brilliant. Because while everyone is showcasing AI, you're going above the
Mm.
noise. And people like the Drew of the world are going to look at your post because they know it's not AI.
Yeah.
So
Or
that's
you look at it differently.
or look
Yeah.
at it differently. So that's a strategy. So the first thing is before I jump in or teach someone to jump in, well, you should be using AI. I would say go back to the values of your organization, determine what part of those values are not negotiable, and then
Mm.
determine how you're going to use AI. Because we've had people on the other spectrum. One of my amazing executive assistants, her name is Floor. I love her to death. If she listens, hey, Floor, I love you. I need you, and you're important to me. But at some point, Floor thought that she was AI.
Mm.
So we had to hold a meeting. And in the meeting, I said, okay, please raise your hand if you go by the name Floor. And Floor raised her hand. Hi, Floor. Welcome. Um, I think we hired you under the name Floor. I don't believe we hired you under Claude, under someone named ChatGPT. And she knows me well enough to go, I know, coach. I know. I've been
I get
using,
it. I get
I
it.
get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Right.
Yeah.
So it's happening here where it's scary a little bit because we
Mhm.
are trying to replace who we are and using ChatGPT. And I think that there has to be a place for stepping back and then deciding what AI needs to do for us. Now, in that context, when did I start using it? I think I started using it more for research to try to
Mm.
understand the different things. So I actually started it in travel. I'm a huge traveler. I travel the world. I just spent 3 weeks in Thailand. And I thought, gosh, it takes me so much time to find the right hotel, the right tour operator. And I thought, what if ChatGPT could be my tour guide? And so that's how I built it, Drew. That was literally the first thing. My entire 6-week trip with my family to Ireland was compliments of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So
We did a trip last December. We've started this new tradition with our kids where they don't get a bunch of like Christmas gifts. We go on a trip and
yes.
they always get surprised Christmas morning where we're going, and we always leave December 26th. And so we did a California trip, we did Anaheim, we did like the Disneyland. We're a big Disney family. But then we road tripped up California and did like 4 days in San Francisco.
Love it.
And ChatGPT planned our entire experience in San Francisco. Like down to my wife has like a shellfish allergy, so make sure to choose restaurants. Like they can have shellfish
Wow.
there, but make
Yes.
sure it's not only shellfish because it's a bay city, right? So there's a lot of seafood
Yes.
there. Down to like what my kids were into, what age they are. Like yeah, we've used ChatGPT for many. Like I'm flying out this week to Portland, Oregon for a family
Hello?
wedding, and
Wait,
like
I am in Portland, Oregon.
you're in Portland.
Yes.
I didn't know that. So like I use ChatGPT to come up with like what should we be doing, like while we're in Portland with here's what my kids are into, like
For.
so we're using the same thing. Yeah.
How long are you here for?
We'll be there a Wednesday to Sunday.
Wednesday to Sunday. Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
offline we should find a way to say hello
We
if
for
they.
sure should. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
that's
Yeah,
great.
but that's how I found out about Powell's
I
bookstore,
love
which is like the
Powell's.
largest
Amazing.
independently owned bookstore.
Amazing.
That's how I found about the Science Museum, like all
OMSI.
those things.
Yeah,
OMSI, yeah.
OMSI
So
is
that's
amazing.
that's
Yeah,
that's how I've been finding out what we're gonna do in Portland. So yeah, I've used it for that too. Now I'm curious too. I want to go back
sure.
since you said you've worked like with decades and
Decades.
30,000s of businesses,
30,000.
right?
Yep.
And when the how you're looking at how AI has come in,
Yes.
what are some other things that through those 30 years
Uh-huh.
of your
That I've learned.
career, like I'm guessing like the internet was equal to this, like where you had to take a step back and be like, how does the internet
Well,
affect
of
the
course.
values of our business? So like what are some of the other things that have popped up where you took that step back, looked at the values of the business and figured out how to move forward from there? And are you seeing AI? Is it the biggest one we've seen yet?
I think the biggest one, to be honest, or on par with that, was during COVID. Because in all the
Oh.
years, I don't say this lightly, I'm a financial expert. I reverse engineered how to find money for businesses that are not bankable and leverage $100 million in grants. There's not a lot of people who could say that,
Hmm.
especially for this kind of population. But when COVID came, it disrupted the industry and the US in a way and the world in a way that I had never seen before. Because remember, actually, most people don't know this. I come from economic development. And it's important to know where someone comes from because where they come from is usually how they're wired in their brain.
Hmm.
Economic development are people who are trained to understand the economy and to look at how are jobs created, how are industries formed, so that they can really create a situation for going above the noise. So when I come into a competitive landscape, so recently, as you and I talked before, I just came in as COO for Ninja VA, but I don't see myself as competition anytime because I'm not competing. I'm disrupting the industry. The competition doesn't is plays on one level. Disrupting an industry plays on a different level. To disrupt the industry, you have to know economic development. You have to understand industry clusters, how the money feeds in from the government down to the state, from the state down to the county, and you have to know the players. So, quick example: if anybody wants their industry research. What is Coach Kedma talking about? If you go online right now and you go to any state you're living in, you could go Idaho, New York, South Carolina, Portland, or I mean Oregon. You could just key in state industry clusters. So let's do ours for example, just so the audience understands, and then I'll go to
Mm-hmm.
how to disrupt. If I go to the state of Oregon right now and I look at our top industry clusters, find it interesting that one of our top industry clusters is footwear athletics, which is a very odd industry cluster, Drew. Where the heck did a state decide that a niche of footwear athletics is going to
Mm.
be something that is considered a cluster, like at the higher echelon of industry considerations for the state? What is the answer, Drew? Why did that happen?
You tell me.
Okay, what two companies are stationed as headquarters?
I know Adidas is.
Ding, ding, ding. Second one.
Uh, I'm getting. I mean Nike. I guess.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
You got it. This is true. Yeah, this is Jeopardy. You just got 500 points for your question.
Nailed it.
Yes, you nailed it.
Yes.
Yes. Now, why? So now that you know, oh, Adidas and Nike are here, industry clusters, what do you think happened for that to happen? They did something that starts with an L and ends with a T. They're a lobbyist. They're
Oh.
lobbying. They're presenting, right? So when
Yeah.
you see your business from this perspective, you see it a whole different way. So this was the first time COVID was the first time that shut down an industry, and was really the first time we had to navigate in territories we had never had. We've had recession before, and frankly, I'm gonna be straight up, I love recessions. Bring it in all day long. People are like, "Why would you love recession?" Because during recessions is where most millionaires become millionaires.
Hmm.
During recessions is where everybody gets afraid, but only a few of us are above the noise, and we're selling, and we're promoting, and we're spending. But COVID took us out, which really disrupted, and the second thing that changed the whole dynamics is the introduction of Zoom.
Mm.
Believing that we could transform multi-million, $100 million companies into a virtual company was unprecedented prior to Zoom.
Yeah.
Unprecedented, right?
Hmm.
And now it's the opposite. We can't get anybody to come to work, right?
It's true.
People are fighting, right? We can't get anybody to show up because they want to be working from home. So AI is coming in a place where people feel threatened for their job. But that's
Yeah.
happened before in the past. And you know what? It doesn't annihilate people. It just means that we have to play alongside AI and make ourselves smarter in the industry so that we don't get our job removed.
That is a big conversation with AI. That's a big anti AI,
Of course it is.
conversation where they think they're just going to take jobs and things like that. Um, what are you seeing? I mean, because I think there's with anything, there's the opportunity to take away like a man job or a man made job or like a human
I
doing
think you
a
take
certain
man-made. You gotta keep the
occupation.
female-made, but all man-made jobs can be
Human made. I changed it. I corrected myself. Human made or human done jobs. Um,
It'd be
what are you
alien
seeing
made.
with that though?
My husband's from Canada. We'll call him the alien made. It could be all
Alien
that.
made.
Okay, so
Oh,
let's
geez, yeah.
let's let's talk about a few things. First of all, to disclose, I own a cleaning company. I started the cleaning company 14 months ago. The last 2 months, we have a team of 8. I have not had to put any money into it. The business is supporting itself. We are so busy. We Our biggest thing is now capacity, capacity, capacity. So, there's a few
Mm,
things I wanna sort of talk about with, what we're seeing and fear. If you ask me what I have noticed over the decades I've been doing it, I will tell you that fear has played a role in every decade I've consulted. Fear has played a role in every decade, but abundance mindset has also played a role in every decade I've supported.
mm,
So, if the question is, do we have an opportunity as business owners to become better equipped in closing more sales and being more efficient and having a higher net margin and using automation? The answer is yes, because we're under the other auspice of this, which most people may not like, but let's just get real here. In my in Oregon, if I'm running a residential cleaning company, my ticket is fairly fixed, right? I'm not an HVAC. I can't I'm not a roofer. We're not closing a $15,000 cleaning unless you want us to come and clean your home, and there's a few dead bodies there. Now I'm not saying
mm,
we do and we don't, but I'm not other than that, I'm not coming to charge you those kind of numbers. So then we have a fairly fixed rate in terms of the margin. And then Oregon requires us to meet their Oregon state, wages, which is a lot of money right now. It's not Let me preface this. It's not a lot of money. Everybody should have a living wage, but if we're very limited to what we can charge a customer, it could be up there. So we can't
mm,
bring anyone in less than $20 an hour. And really to be competitive, we're looking at 23 to 25 for a cleaner, which they deserve, but we should feel comfortable then, Drew, coming in and charging you 800 to 1,000,
mhm,
which is just not possible. So what's happening is that businesses are up against labor requirements that may put us out of business. Let's just be real here. And so then what happens is companies like McDonald's say, you know what? We're not going to have a customer service agent anymore checking in for your French fries. You're going to meet with a robot. I'm seeing this in Japan. I like to follow other countries, see what they're doing.
mhm,
We're seeing robots happening in the manufacturing plants, right? They're removing a lot of employees because, frankly, it's going to cost more on the front end, but on the back end, they don't have to deal with workman's comp. They don't have to deal with sick leave. They don't have to deal with wage increase. So I don't think this is all on the business. I think that there are fundamental issues happening in the economy, which is forcing the
Hmm.
businesses to make prudent decisions, which will include automating through AI, automating through tools, automating through systems, and even automating by transferring, I hate to say this, but US employees for staff in other parts of the world because of the currency exchange.
How do you see this playing out? Do you think there's ever a place where the government bends and
Well, I think
recognizes things like that?
listen, in all the years I've been doing this, in all the decades, I have never seen the current government the way it is. Remember, I come from grant development. I've never seen a slash. And by the way, anybody listening to this, this is not a political, just a statement. I come back from
Yeah.
financing. The government's doing what we call zero-based accounting. It's brilliant. We teach this when we work with our business pros in House Call Pro. Zero-based accounting means when you come in, Drew, and you are figuring out, what do I do with my business? Right now I'm not making it financially. We'll literally zero out your profit and loss. And then we'll say to you, okay, every single expense has to be negotiated back in. We get to
Mm,
justify what goes back in, how much goes back in, does it go back in? Does it get outsourced? Does it get moved to another month? Does it get absorbed? Or does it get transferred to a partner to do it? That is zero based accounting. It's the
mm,
best way to tighten your ropes. Well, that's what they just did. People are really upset. Well, why is this being cut? And why is that being cut? And why? They're doing zero based accounting. That's it. They're zeroing it out and saying, should we bring in the arts? Should we bring in education? Should we have education outsourced and brought to the state? And fundamentally, that's what they're doing to really
mm.
try to understand how to make the books work because we have to get to a place where we're profitable. So now the question you asked is this going in the right direction? Well, you're talking to a positive realist, okay? A positive realist, meaning I am a realistic person. Like, even if we had 7 days to live, I'm from the Middle East. So we have to be a realist because every day in my country is a day when we don't know if we have the next day, right? So we are realists, but we're always preparing. We're
Mm,
always preparing. So to speak to that very clearly, last week I was on a coaching call with a bunch of business pros, all ranges, half a million, million, several million. And someone asked the question, how do you prepare for a recession, coach? That's a very good question. So if I asked you that, Drew, what would you say? How do you prepare for a recession? It hasn't come. It may come,
mhm.
may not come. How do you prepare for a recession? As a business owner in the home service, what would you say?
I mean, definitely looking at expenses. I mean, that zero-based accounting, I guess, is like what you just described is a great
That
place
would
to
be one
start,
way.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking at that. Definitely try to, like, save up as much, like, cash reserves as possible. I mean,
Great.
the answer is, like, all the things we should be doing anyway, whether there's
Great.
a recession coming or not, you
Ding
know?
ding 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 ding. So my response
Yeah,
was, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Every day is a recession in my world. What are you
yeah.
talking about? Every day, we operate as if there's always a recession. We operate as if there is always a plan B, always a contingency. Because if we can operate in that place of deployment, like we are quick to make a decision, we are
Mm,
quick to know the processes, then we're prepared for the wonderful gifts that we're given. But if we operate with wonderful gifts are given, and then we can't operate at the level of something takes us out, the recession takes us out, a tech walks out, a manager walks out, whatever. Google decides to take down our company. If we don't have those contingency plans in place, we are not on the offense. I do not operate companies that are reactive. I will temporarily, but I will teach them. Hey guys, we're in a reactive experience right now, and I really don't like it.
mhm.
So that comment is exactly what I would say, Drew. How do we handle it? We have to operate as if the business is constantly in that that place of recession, and then we can build all the processes for emergencies.
Love it. Gotcha. Yeah, because there is that big fear. And like you said, there's always something scary. I mean,
There's
COVID was
always something.
scary. I mean, I'm sure like when the internet, became mainstream, that was scary for a lot of people too. But at the same time, you look at the people who took advantage of the fear and did something with it instead of just being afraid of it. Those are the people that are changing things.
Look, yes, and what I would say is if we study the pendulum and how things go forward to go backwards, there's a place to understand that sometimes even if things get eliminated, they then become nostalgia. So think
Mm.
about the whole disruption of now this new industry where, you know, you mentioned Powell's books. You don't think Powell's was worried that people were going to not read anymore? And yet now it's become nostalgia. It's Powell's has been doing so great because they have gone above the noise. They have amazing books, some are hard to find. They have a beautiful place to sit. They have multiple levels. Like it is a
Yeah.
privilege to go there. And we're seeing local bookstores opening up again. Why? Because people want community. People want
Mm.
connection. We saw it with the trade shows. The trade shows, so, oh, that's it. Zoom's going to take over. That's it. We have no more trade shows. It's silly. What do people want? They want to go to events.
Yeah.
People are begging for that. So I think the the pendulum moves, and as things get eliminated, new markets open up where people are willing to pay for that experience.
Yeah. 100%. So I said in the beginning, the goal of this season is really maybe to open the eyes of some people that are in this home service world to help turn innovation into impact, automation into
Yep.
profitability, and insights into action. What are some things that you're maybe seeing, because you talk to home service business
Every
owners
day, all day long.
all day every day, right? What are
Yep.
some things that you've seen some of these home service business owners using AI for that are doing that exact thing,
Well,
like that
how
you're
about I
seeing
tell you
people
what
do
they're
things that are
how they're using it wrong? How about that?
that was I mean,
How
that's my
about
next question. So we can do both. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let me do a little show and tell. Is there a way for me to share my screen? I don't know because I don't usually this.
I
I
honestly
don't know if
don't
it.
know if there
Oh,
is.
bummer.
Yeah,
Okay.
next I can share mine. You
Once
can't
I
share
start.
yours.
Oh, it doesn't.
Or
Okay,
maybe you
bummer.
can. Yeah.
Okay, how about this? How about you go to my site so I can show you what to do? You can share
Okay.
your screen. Go to superbmaidsportland.com. It's superbmaids portland.com.
This is the first for the show.
Superb Maids. Okay, well, I like
Superb
to disrupt.
Maids Portland. Okay.
I like to disrupt by I'm a show and tell kind of person. I like to show and tell, show and tell, show and tell.
All right. I am
Um,
I am on
all
the
right.
site. Yeah.
Okay. So one thing you're going to notice here is we have a bot. There should be a bot here. Welcome to Superb
Yeah.
Mates. Can I assist you? I'd like you to open that bot. Okay.
Okay.
There should be a bot. Okay. Now, before you respond, don't respond. This is the first problem we see. People think just because I can put a bot, it makes sense. I was on a coach call with one of these pros who had a bot, and the bot annoyed me like you would not believe, because I would start to conversation with the bot, and the bot says, "I need your email." And I said, "I don't want to give you my email." The bot goes, "I need your email." I said, "I don't even know you." Bot says, "I need your email." I said, "You're annoying." Bot said, "I need your email." I go, "Please let your
Oh
owner
my
know
gosh.
that
Yeah.
you failed the test." Okay? This bot, this is ours. I'm going to have you test it and we're going to have fun. I don't know what you're going to
Okay.
write,
Sounds good.
but let's do it. So, welcome to Superb Mate. Can I assist you with your cleaning? So, what do you want to write? Write whatever. Let's see what the bot does. Guys, this is real time.
Maybe this is real. I've never been on this website before. Maybe I'm looking to get my apartment cleaned.
Good. What does it say?
It's thinking.
Okay. So,
I'm
this is
making
a
it
test for
think.
my own bot.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, what does it
Okay,
say? Let's
here it
go up.
goes. Says that's great to hear. We offer a variety of cleaning services, including deep cleaning, recurring services, and move in and move out cleaning. To proceed, we would need to provide you with an estimate. You can request an estimate by visiting this link. If you have any specific questions or need any further assistance, feel free to ask.
Because
To
now what are
better
you going to
assist
say?
you,
Maybe you
to
don't want
better
to fill,
assist you, please fill
fill
in.
out the details.
I
Maybe you don't.
don't want to give you
Mhm.
any personal information
Good. Let's
yet.
see what the bot says.
Thinking.
It's thinking. I wish it would think faster. Okay,
No,
read what it
always.
says.
I completely understand your concern about sharing personal information. If you're not ready to provide details for an estimate, you can still reach out to us with any questions you may have about our services. When you're ready, you can request an estimate through the link provided earlier. If you need assistance with anything else, just let me know.
Okay, so now what? What do you want to ask it?
How much
Does it cost?
does a cleaning cost?
Okay, guys, so as you're listening to this is how you need to do it. You need to put in every possible answer that someone would say for the chat bot to respond to. So how much does
So
the
what
cleaning
what
cost?
what specific tool are you using for this?
I don't I gotta ask my team because that would assume that
Okay.
I'm in the business. I'm on the business.
Got it. There you go.
Read it.
The response is the cost of a cleaning service with us starts at a minimum of $175, and the average biweekly cleaning is around $250. If you have a specific budget in mind, we can work with you to find a suitable cleaning option. Please let me know if you have any other questions or if you'd like to explore our services further.
Okay, so now we're gonna throw a loop and see what the chat does. You're gonna say, let me think about it, but you sound cute. Are you available for a date?
Oh my. Breaking HR rules now.
No,
Let
not
me think about
really.
it.
It's a chat. It's a chat
But
bot. Let's
you
see what it says.
sound cute. Are you available
Let's see what it says.
for drinks and dinner on Friday night?
Okay, now you took it to a whole new level.
Hey, I'm testing it.
Oh my goodness. Let's
see
see
what
what
it
it
says.
says.
I should be using this to see, hey, I'm in Portland this week. What should I be doing with my
Yeah, what
family?
should I be doing?
No.
All right.
Thank you for the compliment. However, I'm here to assist you with your cleaning inquiries and services. If you have any questions or
Okay,
need
so
help
they
with scheduling
even
a cleaning,
know
feel
how
free to
to
ask.
handle someone who's going to be a little forward.
Creepy, I think is the word I'd use.
A
Yeah.
little creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then maybe you can close it is, can you have them call me?
Can you have someone
Call me.
call me?
What do they say? I have to make sure it goes a little faster, but maybe it's thinking.
I
I
can't
can't
schedule a
put
call
it.
directly through this chat, but I recommend reaching out to us at number. Our team will be happy to assist you with any questions or concerns you
Okay,
may
so this
have.
will
If
be
there's anything
feedback to
else,
my team. So this is why we do a chatbot check all the time. And now I'm going to
yeah,
have my team actually write into the chatbot. Yes, of course we can call you. Give me your name and number, and we'll have someone call you immediately. Okay.
love it.
This is how you play the game. You have to understand how to feed everything in, then test it with all the possible questions, and then correct it.
That's something a tactic I've learned. You're right, because there's always more details that can be added in,
Right.
and a lot of times people don't realize. And I do this all day. I ask my. I have a virtual board of directors. I've made like a custom GPT, Drew's
Yeah.
virtual board of directors. It's great,
Drew.
but I ask it all the time. What else do you need to know from me to make this better? Or what
Exactly.
other details do you need to know from me to make this tool more effective or this message better? Or what else do you need to know? And it'll rattle off like 10 to 15 more questions sometimes. And I literally just copy and paste the questions, dash and answer it, upload it, and it makes it better.
Right. And so let
Yeah.
me tell you why this is so important. So Friday, I decided that I was going to reach out to 3 different trainers, personal health trainers in Selwood, because I wanted to, I want to better myself. So the first
Mm-hmm.
trainer I called, the guy answered, and he's like, I mean, I can't even express, but he did something like this. He's like, "What do you want?" Okay, yeah, I've been doing this 30 years. Just show up at 2:30. Click. No information.
Oh
Doesn't
my
have that much
gosh.
name. Scared the crap out of me. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
think I may want to work with him. The second person,
Yeah, it could go either way, actually. It scared you in a good way or a bad way. Yeah.
right, the second person did AI. His name was Scott,
Mm.
and he's like, "Hi, Scott is not available. But you could leave a message." And I said exactly like yours. I'm on the phone. I'm like, I don't want to leave a message. I want to talk to Scott. I'm sorry. Scott is a very busy person. He's busy actually training. So you can leave a message. And I said, I don't want to leave a message. I don't even know him. Well, I'm sorry, but Scott is too busy to talk to you. So you either, and I was like, can you let Scott know he's lost the sale? So I called I called my AI coach, and
We're
she
starting to
said,
get these poor AI. We're starting to
"These
get
poor AI."
snappier and snappier with them, I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
And you know what she said to me? She was laughing. I go, "What's so funny?" She goes, her name is Coach Morgan. We're very close. She goes, "What's funny is he had to tell the AI that he was essentially a narcissist and that he had no time for these new
Yeah.
patients, and that's what he fed to the AI." And I'm like, "You're so right." 'Cause
Yeah.
I was annoyed. I thought, "This AI is so arrogant, won't let me talk to them, won't let me talk to the person. I just wanna talk to him." And then
Yeah.
the third one was like the '80s. "Hi, this is Tina. I can't get to the phone right now." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I got a voicemail. I got
Wow.
someone who was yelling and saying, "Show up at 2:30," and I got a gay AI person. And which one do you think I went with?
Did you go with the creepy first guy?
I went with none of them.
Oh, none of them. Okay. I was scared you were going to say the creepy first guy. I
I
was
was
like,
gonna
Ted,
get a
I don't know
creepy
if you
one,
could.
but I
Yeah.
thought, you know what? He was just a little too creepy. And, he's the kind of, if I messed up, I'd be found in the bottom of the river. And I thought, no
Oh,
to
yeah.
that, no to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an example where AI is done wrong.
Mm.
It's done wrong. So just because you're given a tool does not mean it should be in your hands. You really need to
Sure.
work with people who have the knowledge so we can successfully ensure that you're actually bringing in more leads and not upsetting your customers.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So a lot. I mean, some people listening to this, and this has been such a good conversation, and I hope that screen
It's
share
not
thing
over.
worked.
Is
You've
it
never done
over
it before.
already?
No,
Is it
no, not at all, not at
over?
all. No, but I mean, some people they get, and you probably talk to them all day, every day. They are overwhelmed by
I
the
get it.
idea of this, right? And it's like it is a robot. How do I speak to a robot? Um, and I said this on a previous episode. I had a good conversation with a friend of mine, Dave Carroll over at Dope Marketing, and he was talking. We were talking about AI, and I basically just kept saying like it's not hard. It just takes time, right? And like I feel like that
Yeah,
should be like the motto of all things AI. I want to say motto for anything new in life. It's not hard. There's nothing too hard. It just takes time. And a lot of people
right.
don't have patience, and that's another issue. But what are some things people that are just getting started on this AI journey? Maybe they
Yeah,
own a cleaning company, they own a roofing company, they own
I get
XYZ,
it.
whatever it is. Where should they start?
Where do they
And I know you
begin?
talked about like take a step back to find your values of your company and how you think it's
Well,
going to
that
work for you. They've done
I
that,
was
but
gonna
what do they do
Yep.
next?
Yeah, so let me sort of bring you into something we do as like really a simple way of understanding, and it really begins with what do you want AI to do to take your time back? Now you're gonna hate me because I'm gonna share another screen. I'm a show and tell person. So do I
You're
have
good. I
to
like it.
how do I should I give you the link and
Yeah,
you can
just
open
send me the link somehow.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, we're fine. This. Oh, there is a chat.
Can I send it to you via chat?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they see the chat in the bottom right. You should be able
Okay.
to send a message there.
Let me see. Okay, let's see if you can open that. So let me go to
Okay.
the chat everyone, and let's see if
Testing
you can.
everything out today.
Hey, you know what?
All right, I do have that. So
Okay,
here,
you're
let
going
me
to
share
share
my
the
screen
screen.
again.
Yeah, you're going to share the screen. Now, this
Okay,
is a game
here we go.
changer of how we look at things. Okay. And I will
Hmm.
walk you through it. And Drew, I would suggest you do it for yourself. Okay. So this
Sure.
is something we do in Ninja VA called Delegate to Elevate. So it's really simple. We look at the month prior. So in your case, it would be April. And we break down categories. So we have $15 an hour, 50, 100, 500, and 1,000. But here's the cool part. We take people through this, and this is actually a real customer. So we look at the $15 an hour and we determine like what is something that you're doing that is $15 or less. In other words, can a VA take on answering phones? Can they maintain
Mm,
checklists? Can they learn a new program like Service Titan or House Call Pro or Jobber? Can they review resumes? They can manage website. So I literally asked the CEO of this company, CEO of a multi-million dollar company. I said, okay, right now they're doing about 1.2, right? So not multi, they're going to be doing two. And they do 1.2. I said, how many hours are you spending at $15 an hour? Do you
mm.
see the number?
Yeah,
70. So I said,
79. Yeah.
70. I said, okay. I said, would you mind if I write you a check for $1,185 for your hard work? He's like, no. I'm like, but that's what you did. The second thing was anything under 50. So between 15 to $50 an hour, he's spending 64 hours. That's a $3,200 check. The third is $100 an hour. He only did 4 hours. and he's doing nothing,
Mm,
nothing in the 500 or $1,000 an hour. But Drew, here's the deal. You're a business owner, you have to be at $1,000 an hour. And if you're not doing that, you're out. And you have to
yeah.
also make sure, like, how your use of time. So it's not that you can't do it, it's just that you have to decide where your genius zone is. So when I started my company, Superb Mates, 14 months ago, I didn't actually start as a cleaner. I'm a terrible cleaner. I'm a terrible estimator. But I can tell you right now, do I promote myself as a speaker? Of course. I
Mm,
speak everywhere. Am I on board of directors? Yes. Am I building a business that is looking, is like best places to work? Yes. So the first thing I would say, Drew, before people run out and try AI and automate or try a VA, get a time inventory done.
mm.
Then do that for your core team. From there, we can figure out how to automate or what makes sense. But without that, you have no idea what you're up against.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, that time audit, like I've done one of those
Huge.
before, huge thing, right? And like we do the same thing. Take, 2 weeks maybe, and like really look at micro examples of how you're spending your time and how you can like delegate off the things you shouldn't be doing.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll push you a little further then. Let's say they've
Oh,
done one of these. They are
great,
delegating, they are in a
great,
healthy path,
great.
and maybe a part of those $1,000 hour tasks that they're doing is to bring in AI into their organization and help like fill that innovating bucket into their company. Where could some people
So
start
the
when
first thing,
they don't even have a ChatGPT account yet? Like they are very
okay,
new
so they
into all
can
of
pay
this.
$20 for a ChatGPT account. That would be really, and I would do this. I would separate it. I would have the CEO have their own chat GPT. I would not have that CEO have the chat GPT with the team because there's going to
Mm,
be things you want to research like, hey, I gotta, I want to fire my technician, but I have no idea how to do it. Like that should not be for your other
yeah.
team members to see. So I'd keep that separate.
Well,
And then
we are
you,
using they have team accounts now, for
yeah, as long
ChatGPT,
as you
which is
have your
great. Yeah.
own private that they
Yes,
can
exactly.
have access to.
Yes.
That's all I care about. Like, you don't wanna double, don't wanna have them seeing it.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you have to figure out what is the highest use for the best, like, what's gonna improve the business, get more sales, but also support gaps. Like, what are some of the gaps that could, infuse potential risk? So it
Mm,
could be, and as an example, we talk about an employee handbook. Let's talk about employee handbook. How many of us have seen an employee handbook that's 100 pages? Nobody knows what's in the employee handbook, right? Nobody, not even the people who set up the employee handbook know what's in the employee handbook. And yet, sometimes that employee handbook is so useless because the only thing you have to know as a company is if you get called on the carpet for an employee issue, you better make sure that employee handbook is directly tied to every statute of your state Department of Labor.
mm,
So when people go, "Oh, I had a lawyer do it, I had AI do it," unless it's directly tied to the statutes and requirements of the labor law in your state, you might as well throw that handbook to the ground. So what we did is we took our handbook, we matched it literally verbatim down to the actual statutes in our employee handbook of what the
mm.
state requires. It's beautiful. And then we had AI check it, and then we had AI check for anything that we have to pay attention to. From there, we went into training. So again, I can't share the screen, but I'm going to give you this to show. But this is one of my very favorite ways of utilizing AI to really absorb the training pattern. So if you want to share your screen,
Yep.
this is Notebook. This is new Notebook LM. And what I love about Notebook, you can set it up absolutely free. There's a couple of things you can do. You can put it in the handbook, and what it's going to do is it can create notes, it can create a timeline, it can create a podcast that I love to give to business owners so that if their employees are on the run, they can listen to it. So
Oh
those are
wow.
ways that you can do it to be very efficient without spending a lot of money. But listen, if you have excuse my language, a crappy handbook to begin with, don't use AI. All AI is going to do is verify the crappy handbook. You have to
Yeah.
still do the due diligence, right? So I would say if I was coming in to consult with you, day one, time management. Then we put all the work you're doing in highest priority based on risk and based on revenue. Actually, risk takes precedence over revenue because if the department later shows up or IRS shows up, you don't have to worry about revenue, hun. You don't have to
Hmm.
worry about it. You just have to worry about you wearing the color orange. So risk always supersedes revenue. And then we look at highest priority and then we look at your org chart. Who is on your team that needs to be doing this work based on knowledge, based on experience, and based on what their time is worth? And if this org chart is wrong, we have to build the right org chart.
Mm,
That's what I
gotcha.
would do in
Love
day
it.
one.
I love it. Love it. Great takeaways there. I love all the tools today too. Okay. I want to know inside Kedma's brain, if you had a little crystal ball in front of you,
Yes.
how do you see AI growing and how do you see it being um, used in like 1 to 2 years for home service businesses?
Well, the first
Where
thing
do you see it going?
I know what's going to happen. The government is going to put some regulations around it because AI can become dangerous very, very fast.
Mm,
I foresee that happening fairly quickly because you cannot introduce a weapon without having some parameters of how to use the weapon. And AI is a weapon. So, for us ninjas, we like that because we like ninja weapons. But for other people, you can put it in the wrong hands, and it's going to work in a way that doesn't serve our world. So, I think that there are going to be some regulations. First, I think second, um, you need to get aligned with people who are going to be able to train you up, so you know how to use it. So you don't have to. You don't look you don't have to be an AI expert, you need to align with AI experts, right? Again,
mm.
best use of your time. Like, the reason I'm able to do everything I do is I bring experts all around me. I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I'm the smartest in strategically bringing the right players. This is why I have 2 of the top national AI experts that are in my wheelhouse, that I am part of, that I could pick up the phone today. I could call her right now and she'll pick up the phone. And I'll say, "Hey, we're in an AI session. What do you got for me?" Right?
Yeah.
You need to find those
I'd love to have
players.
them on the podcast, by the way. If you want to introduce me, that'd be fun.
That's an that's an in. We can definitely do that. I mean,
Love
she
it.
would
Yeah.
probably pick it up and I would invite her. So,
Good.
um, I think AI is going in a direction that scares people, but for the people who are aware and who are on the ground and who are using it, like all of our VAs are AI certified. That's one of our goals. Like we cannot because the threat of having virtual assistants being eliminated has put us in a proactive measure where that's
Mm.
not negotiable. We are no longer going to be eliminated because now all of our VAs are trained to manage AI. That's an
What does that
awesome.
training look like? What does that training look
That's a
like?
great question because we've moved into being a coaching company from a VA perspective. So when people onboard and work with us, the VAs go through monthly training with me, and
Okay.
then the pros go with monthly training with me. So we have 2 VA success coaches, and literally it's live sessions where we are training, just like what I did here, the show and tell. We do
Hmm.
that with the VA. We go through a example. So we're like, let's do a handbook. And then they have to go back to their company and review the handbook.
Mm.
So let's do KPIs. Then they have to go back to their company and work on KPIs. So it's always a show and tell. And then they have to go back and they get tested out by showing that they completed the task.
So you've created your own certification,
That is
basically.
correct.
Got it. Okay. Gotcha. Very cool. Love that. Okay.
And
I mean,
listen,
because that's a thing too. I mean, like, there's, I mean, being just the world that we're in, there's always a new software, and like, there's always that software is growing quickly. And I know when like Go High Level, became a thing, and everybody was like, it does so much. What do I even do? Right? And, like, it was like, such a
so even with Go
multifaceted
High
tool.
Level, because we didn't want to be out of the market, we're building an entire platform for trained VAs for Go High Level. So we're
Yeah.
very strategic. What I would say is this. I think that there is more than enough. Home service is one of the last to be directly impacted because, it's going to be a while before AI decides to become a plumber and go ahead. Like, I think we are safer than a lot of other industries, and I would say just get connected, like, get connected to people.
Yeah.
Like, I always am about serving. And don't live afraid. Like, don't live in the bubble. There are people out there that are disrupting it, working on it, helping people through it. And just don't listen to the noise. That's all I would say.
And
Don't listen
there's
to the
you're
noise.
so right. Like there are people, um, like Jonathan Mast. He's going to be on this season, where I'm excited
Yeah,
to have him on, and he like really dove into AI
yeah,
head first, right? And I'm so
yeah.
pumped to have him on. And honestly, I was kind of intimidated to like reach out to him because he is so big in this world of AI. He
Right.
was like one of the first people I knew that like really dove head first. His response was like, "Heck yeah, that'll be fun." Because I think a lot of times we
Exactly.
get intimidated to invite certain people into our lives to like help bring value to us. The thing is, like, if what we're talking about is a very specific thing, they're probably so passionate about it. They are pumped to have the
Thank
conversation in
you.
general.
I cannot tell you, sometimes people meet me, they're like, "I don't wanna talk to Coach Kedma or she did" I'm like, "Why? I just love this.
Yeah.
You are doing me a disservice if you don't reach out to me, because I tell people, AI cannot make me a psychic.
Hmm.
I cannot read your mind.
Yeah.
You will have to pick up the phone and call me." But once you do, that's where the fun begins,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
you don't know and you don't know,
You know,
and
you don't know, and people get afraid of,
yeah.
like, I always ask for help, Drew. I
Yeah. And like I
I ask
said,
for
I think it's usually the response is like, heck yeah, that'd be fun. Let's power through that,
yeah.
or something like that.
And
So
hopefully people learn to train, they learned a few things from today. Get your
yeah.
chatbot to make sure that it's working. Please don't tell your chatbot that you're too busy to take on a personal training sale and
Yeah.
check out Notebook LM.
Yeah, love it. So many good takeaways. All right, so on this podcast, we did this last season too. I do like to end them with a fun, like, would you rather style question. So
Uh-oh.
last season we were on sales, so we'd like, would you rather sales edition. Today is would you rather AI edition. So I want to know, Coach
Uh-oh.
Kedma,
Uh-oh.
would you rather use AI to double your profit margin or cut your personal work week in half?
Listen, I am huge on personal work week because I believe that the thing we're all buying is freedom. We're buying freedom. And you can meet people who have millions of dollars and they are a prisoner to their own experience. So the answer will
Hmm.
be always cut the time for personal opportunity. I just posted on this. I said, "Hey, happy Friday." Oops, I meant Monday, but here at Ninja VA, it's always a Friday. That's what I mean. So I would cut that because I just want to have fun. I just want to,
I
I
love
want
it.
to work efficiently and then I want to play the rest of the time.
I love it. Hey, well, thank you so much for being
Thank
on the show
you.
today.
It's so
Really appreciate it. It was
good.
great meeting you as well. This is the first time we've met, so this is a cool way to do it. But that is a wrap for today's episode. I hope you guys have walked away, and I know you have if you're actually paying attention, with like some clear, actionable ways to start thinking about AI not as a threat, but like it really is a partner in your business.
Mhm.
AI is no longer the future. Trust me, it is here now. But like every other tool, it's not about the tech itself. It's about how you use it to serve better, grow smarter, and lead stronger. Kedma, thank you for being here. How do people get in contact with you or learn more about what you're doing?
Well, I can put it here. It's just ops at ninjava.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn, but check this out. If you send me a LinkedIn message, I will be the one that responds. So do
Ooh,
not
not
put me.
AI.
Nope. Nope. Because I call out AI all the time when they
You
send it
do.
to me. So I still respond to my LinkedIn. And yeah, and obviously through you, Drew, I want to thank you for finding the time. This was a great podcast. It was so much fun. And I love the service you're doing for others. So they can reach me through you as well.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you guys for watching. This is just episode 2 in the season, all about AI in the home service world. So stay tuned. Make sure to listen to all the other episodes. Trust me, I talked about Jonathan Mast earlier. We have some really powerful guests planned for this season. So make sure to tune in, as well as go back to our other season that we did, the first season on sales. Make sure to just listen to all the content we're putting out there at 5 Door Media. We appreciate you. We appreciate the work you're doing for the world and your team. We'll see you next time.